Realme 2 Pro is like a flagship device for the Realme. It comes with the best specs from the company's portfolio and is also priced very competitively under 15K for the as a starting price. It can go up to 8 GB RAM variant, so it also comes under 20K, so making it a very good spec to value ratio. Let us see how good this phone is in this detailed review. My name is Rahul. Let's dive into the details. So, in terms of design, Realme 2 Pro really looks good. I know it's not a very different design from the earlier Realme devices, but still it looks really cool, and I like the paint job they uses. It's a plastic phone. It's not as slippery as any glass phone because it is plastic, but the problem is that it does not feel as flagship or the quality of Honor ITX, which uses the glass back, but it still really looks good. But it is a fingerprint magnet as usual. Other thing is that this phone comes with a fingerprint sensor, a dual camera on the back, so there is also face unlock for the device, and there is also triple cut slot, and also on the front it comes with a dewdrop notch, which makes it having a good screen to body ratio. Then there is 3.5 headphone jack, the speaker grill on the bottom, and there is also micro USB cable port, not the USB type C. It also feels solid in the hand, that's I forgot to mention. You can hear the sound of the fingerprint unlock. It's quite fast, and also facial unlock is also pretty good. I mean, it's really good in the daytime, but in low light and night condition or any harsh conditions, face unlock does not work really hard. But the fingerprint sensor, as I mentioned, is really good. So I was using fingerprint sensor when I was using this device, not the face unlock. I just tested the face unlock and then stopped using it. You can see how fast it is in the daytime, right? In terms of display, this device comes with 6.2-inch Full HD Plus display. It has Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection. Also, it also comes with a dewdrop notch, which makes it having a good screen to body ratio than any other device at this price point. Also, it also comes with a factory fitted screen protector so that the phone will not get any scratches very fast. Also, this is one of the best display I have seen at this price point. It also has a good sunlight legibility with 530 nits of brightness or around something like that. So the screen, the sunlight legibility is really good. It is really good to use at outdoor at this price point. So as I mentioned, this is the best display available at this price point. In terms of software and performance, I can say this. I'm going to talk about software first. Uh, I'm not a fan of ColorOS. I was never a fan of ColorOS. I'm still not fan of it. It is too cartoony for my liking. It comes with Android 8.1. There's ColorOS 5.2. I also got an update recently just after shooting this video, but it does not have the slow motion they were offering. So I didn't see much difference in the newest update, so I didn't want to include in this review. It works smooth, there is no question about that. It works really smooth, the OS, but I don't like the interface of this phone. But your your taste may vary. And in terms of performance, this comes with Snapdragon 660. It is the best processor available at this price point. So in terms of performance, either the benchmarks or the gaming, this will perform really good. There's no doubt about that. I have tried game. I'm not a really big gamer, so I tried the Asphalt for testing. It really worked really good. Also, I will be putting the my gaming sample for you to test out, and also you can see how good the external speaker of this phone works also from the gaming sample. So in terms of battery, unfortunately, ColorOS does not offer us this how much screen you have used up on their interface. It comes with a 3500 mAh battery, which is lesser than the Realme 2 4230 mAh unit. But for me, the battery performance was pretty good, above average. It was around, if I calculate my usage, I think it is around 5 at least screen on time, just above 5 hours maybe. But the thing is that there are the competitors like Redmi Note 6 Pro and Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 offers much better battery life than this phone. So you see, it is pretty decent for the price, or it is a pretty decent battery, but not as good as its competitors. Also, it is a slow charging phone, not really slow charging, but it is a regular charging phone, so it is not really fast. So you can see it is around 5 watt 2 amp charger, so it is not exactly fast, but it charges pretty decently because it is also a smaller battery pack than their competitors. It does charge decently well. Now let's talk about the camera. The phone comes with a 16 MP f1.7 rear camera with dual LED flash and a 2 MP depth sensor with f2.4. And on the front, on the dewdrop notch, you can see a 16 MP camera with f2.0 aperture. So in the camera interface is a little iOS like, but I really like Oppo's camera app. I mean, it has most of the things I really want. You can see you cannot change the resolution, but you can change standard, square, or full screen ratio. There's no chance you can change the 16 MB to 10 MB or 9 MB or 8 MB like that. It also has smart AI. Then there is filters, just like any other phones. Then you can see it's a timer. Then there is, you can turn on and off HDR. Then there is flash. There's a 2x zoom mode, but it is just a digital zoom, not any optical zoom is available. Then there is portrait mode. Then there is stickers. Then there's panorama mode and also a full-fledged expert mode, in which you can change all the settings for the camera from up to 16-second shutter control to manual focus to ISO adjustments and everything. I really like their export mode, and Oppo previously also had this export mode. It's great the Realme 2 Pro has also this export mode on their phone. So every detail can be changed with the export mode. So kudos to that. Other than Honor 8X, Realme 2 Pro is only one of the few devices that offer this much control in the export mode. Then you can record up to 4K resolution in the Realme 2 Pro, but it only offers EAS in the 1080p mode. Yes, you can also record 1080p in the front camera also. Flash is the HDR is a flash screen flash actually. Then there is a depth mode is given as the portrait mode is given as separate for the rear camera, but the depth mode is inside the interface camera interface of front camera itself. Then there is also full standard square everything. Then there's also the AI beauty mode, and also there are filters just like the rear camera. So it has a pretty good camera interface. If you ask me, it has a very polished interface and it works really well. So let's look around samples. The samples image quality in daylight is Realme 2 offers quite sharp and plenty resolve detail for the price. I think it is one of the best camera phone available at this price point. There is HDR mode also, it which also works good. I will be sharing the samples for the same. You can see the HDR works also really well here. You can see the details in the clouds and the previous few photos. So it can capture photos in daylight very fast and capture really good photos. The macro shots also are good because of f1.7 aperture. You can get a good bokeh from the front camera itself without enabling the portrait mode. See, you can see as I mentioned, the HDR mode works really well. And the portrait mode also works really well. I mean, there is little bit of mutification, but it really works well, and I really like their rear camera portrait mode. And also it has lot of lighting effects. You can see the different lighting effects for a single portrait picture. It's a pretty decent offering if you like what iPhone offers. In the night, its clarity does decrease, but it is not really bad. I think at this price point, it is a really good low light capture. Now this is the 2x zoom of the previous picture with that 2x slider on the phone. Low light and night mode pictures turned out really good. Noise are much less compared to other phones at this price point, and I really like their low light pictures. And the selfies also turns out really decent. I mean, it's really good. There is too much beautification sometimes. The HDR mode on the front camera is a hit or miss. You see the HDR mode didn't work properly. The first photo worked really well. Selfie portrait is also pretty good for the price. And the low light selfie is also fine. I think it was pretty good.
This is the rear camera sample of Realme 2 Pro at 1080p.
1080p video recording worked really fine. Thus the EAS was pretty good. The focusing was also good. No problem with that.
Hi, this is the front camera sample of Realme 2 Pro.
Front camera video was also just as good as in the daylight as the rear camera. There's some
This
exposure
is the
issues
video
though.
recording of Realme 2 Pro on low light.
Night sample is also good, but there is some jitters because of the EAS.
This is the video recording of Realme 2 Pro front camera in low light.
Front camera sample is not as good as Asus Zenfone Max Pro in the low light, but it's pretty decent. So to conclude, Realme 2 Pro is an excellent device for the price. For according to me, it offers the best price to spec ratio. See, it has the best processor at this price point. It has a great display with best screen to body ratio with that dewdrop notch. It has excellent cameras. Um, the battery backup is really good, not the best. So it is offering also 4GB, 64GB, and also a great design at this price point. So when you're considering a phone under 15K, the real Mid 2 Pro is one of the devices to consider. So there is a Redmi Note 6 Pro, Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2, and the Realme 2 Pro. So Realme 2 Pro, only problem I find is the color OS, which I really don't like. So if you can live with color OS, this is one of the best devices you can consider this price point. So thank you for watching. See you on the next one.